Hi there! If you're new to my sessions, these are the key takeaways you can expect. I'll cover the Wyckoff stages for Bitcoin both on the weekly and daily time frame, and also the key price levels where Bitcoin would find support or resistance. And finally, any breakout timing, like this session, will definitely cover one that I have noticed. So let's get started. Here, we're looking at the weekly chart of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been repeatedly testing the 104K key support level, this purple line over here. This week, the trading range has been very narrow compared to the past 3 weeks. And as of this moment, the price is still trading within this horizontal trading area. This I call playground zone if you're new to my sessions. So this channel has lasted for, since the beginning of July, meaning over 3 months now. And the breakout point I was referring to is getting very close. And when we get to the daily chart, we'll see when that's likely going to happen. For now, let's focus back on the big picture. So there are two scenarios over here. The blue one is the one that I'm more inclined to believe that's the case that we are going through. The yellow one is basically one that has, you can say, one stage later than the blue. So the blue here, the buying climax happened back in March 2024. But then for the yellow, that period was only a PSY period. Because a lot of times during the PSY period, or the stage, there will be this kind of horizontal fluctuation before it actually reaches the climax. So that's why potentially it can be the yellow scenario. But for the time being, let's make it simple and treat the blue as the one first. Okay, so we are at a post upthrust of the distribution period, given the blue scenario. And I previously shared the next stage will likely be a sign of weakness coming back down to somewhere between the blue key level of 91K or the light blue key level of 74K, so somewhere around here. And there may be some LPSYs in between, so meaning the price probably won't shoot like a straight line down towards the sign of weakness, but instead there may be bounces along each of these key levels. Okay? So that's the big picture. To the upside, there's still a possibility, but then it's less likely than the direction towards the sign of weakness. If we turn on the Bollinger Band Curtain Squeeze indicator, we are currently in the third week of the squeeze. So technically speaking, it started on the October 6th, that particular week. But for me, it probably started 1 to 2 weeks earlier when the purple got close enough on the top to the orange line, and it has actually entered the orange area in mid-September for the bottom line. So when this happens, when the squeeze force eventually got released, we can see bigger price movements. Not only to the upside, sometimes it can swing to the downside as well. So be careful when you use this Bollinger Band Curtain Squeeze indicator, because it doesn't only show us one side of movement. It's showing us basically a bigger swing is coming. So let's get to the daily chart and see the breakout timing. In the daily chart, there's no squeeze at the moment, but the purple lines are pointing towards the orange. So if the price of Bitcoin continues to trade narrow range, then in the next few days, probably as quick as before our next session, the squeeze will happen. For now, it's not a worry. So here, these Wyckoff tags for the daily time frame. Previously we said there's a chance of LPSY. that has already happened. So at least there's a little peak over here, right? And there may be another one coming if the price or the candles got rejected from this yellow dashed line. Both 2 days ago on Thursday, Friday, or even Monday and Tuesday, all 4 days, including today, the price, whenever they try to test this yellow dashed line, it's being rejected. Okay, you see these four, or even here, doesn't even reach that level, but close enough. This level is actually where the sign of weakness and the automatic reaction was. Okay, so that's why over this week we've got 5 days out of the past 6 days trying to test this line, and to the downside it was testing this blue line over here. What's this blue line? Is the bottom edge of this channel box, the horizontal channel box that I mentioned in the very beginning. So for now, still like 70% total towards the downside, 40% chance for it to hit at least the 104k purple key level, and another 30% chance for it to come lower. Let me move these back. So this yellow dashed line is where the previous two signs of weaknesses were. One was June 2025, the other same. Basically the beginning and the end of June, we've got 2 times that the price hit around that level. So this time, if Bitcoin really comes down, there is a chance for it to come to this level before bouncing off from this pink line. So the pink line is the bigger upward channel that started way back in here. So sometime near the end of 2023, so 2 years ago, when this bull run started. Okay, so this channel, that's a very key area if that particular line is really being tested. Hey, good morning, Photo. So here, if the line or the price really comes down, falls through the horizontal channel, and then testing this purple line, if it rebound, that's like a bit relieving, even though it has broken outside of the horizontal channel. If it really breaks outside of the pink, that's going to be something key, because it's the first time in the past 2 years that the price has fallen outside of this channel. Last time when it got tested, it was April this year, that this spring, during the accumulation cycle between February to April. So it's almost or over half a year now. Okay, so that's the second time within this year this has been tested, and if it has fallen outside, then that's, like I said, 2 years we are into this, and that's not going to stop at that level. That's why I said initially it may come to hit this yellow dash line, but it can probably go to 91k, and then like before any significant rebound. That's where the like over here in March, when the price fell below the 91k and found support, bounces up, that's where it landed during this accumulation period. So if this falls, then we have a chance to get back to that range. So be prepared that 74k is not something impossible, okay? Like the near term worst case scenario, if this channel is broken. Yeah, well, yes, if this accumulation is really what it is and hold, and then eventually breaks outside of this horizontal channel box, that's the like positive side of it for Bitcoin. I was only talking about the negative side. So the other 30% heading up, it has to go through this period. So this is an interesting period, because if instead of these UTADs, if this is really an accumulation cycle, this is the selling climax, and then we're still consolidating, not at a high level, then eventually it may break towards the upside, towards the like the upper half of the pink channel. But then I guess people have been waiting. I still haven't touched on that breakout time. I almost forgot. This, if we are in this downtrend that started sometime beginning of this month. Now we've got more reference points. By reference points, I mean we've got these over here, and then second, third, fourth. 4 reference points now. So if this trend continues, notice what happened just last Friday, right? It fell below this horizontal blue line, re-enter the blue line the next day on Saturday, but still it's something within this potential downtrend that has started. I say potential because we are getting very close to know whether it is going to continue. Okay, so you see it's bracketing all these candles, right? So the time point here, the breakout time point over here, that's pointing towards the end of this month, right? So if today and the next few days the trade or the price continues to be suppressed by this blue line, meaning it's going to trade slowly downwards, somewhere from the 111K we are at now to somewhere around 107K. That's when a potential breakout is going to happen. If this breaks out to the upside, or like even trading horizontally, not through the yellow dash line, there's still, I would say, I don't want to say positive, but at least not negative. Let's put it this way. Like Wufoto just mentioned, it's continuing accumulation sideways. Okay, but then if it doesn't, if it breaks towards the downside, that means it has confirmed this blue box, this smaller blue box that I've just drawn. Okay, then that's where the downtrend is going to continue. And the next time point that it's going to hit is obviously the purple key level before reaching the pink bottom edge of the upward channel. So this time point here, it's pointing towards like near the end of the first week of, actually it's the middle of the first week of November, and then eventually somewhere near November 10th. So 3 time points if the price continues with this downtrend and keep failing all these supports, then it will eventually come to test the bottom edge of this upward channel, this pink box. Okay, so we are going through a very critical moment for Bitcoin. If you are bullish, hoping Bitcoin to create yet another all-time high, the first thing it has to do is to break outside of this smaller box. Okay, even trading sideways is good enough, because when it gets further down to the right hand side, that's where the pink line is, and that's when the big guys, the whales or the composite man, is going to let us know, is it time to push up. I think week's macro decisions with rate cut and trade freeze talks will set the direction. Yeah, those definitely will drive changes to the price. However, how big would the move is the question, because look at here, right? we were at those peaks, and the the tariff announcement on the 10th drew the price to where we are. So even if they say they make peace now, like make peace or like they settle the deal now, maybe it's going to come back to the ceiling of this blue box, right? What else is going to drive Bitcoin even further? Rate cut? Maybe. Okay? So printing money or rate cut, it's the potential driver to make, I don't want to say the last leg upwards, but if you think about it, right, if all the news has been digested, what else is going to push the price even further? I don't want to see another COVID, right? So that's very tricky. That's why when I say Bitcoin is going through a very tricky time, it's not only because it's getting close to these breakout times, but also think about the fuel for Bitcoin to go up. If somebody tell you that it's going to go to 200K or even a million, what's going to drive that? It's all the big countries going to print a lot of money, pushing that to that kind of level. So let's really think about it. BBWP is going big directional move. Yeah, they're obviously, the big guys are going to make use of the news, whether to the upside or downside. They try to shake out people or offload whatever they have on hand before they drive the direction to the other side. So I've covered the Wyckoff stages, the key levels, the breakout timing. We've got 3 coming in just 2 weeks time. So if this continues sideways, first good news, this downtrend has been broken. If it doesn't, if it really comes down to test the purple and the pink, remember the pink is the last sort of defense for this very long bull run that started since 2023. If the pink line is broken, I won't say Bitcoin won't go up again. It probably has to start another uptrend that's outside of the original pink box, okay? It can either come back to the 91 or to the 74 and then go up again. So those are possibilities as well. Not saying that it's really going to drop all the way to the red key level, which a lot of people believe it won't because of all the macro factors that has happened over the past 2 years. But at least you should think about where is the reasonable level if it really comes down, okay? Because what happened just this March, only half a year ago, we tested somewhere near this 74K, and this white line over here is where the long-term playground zone ceiling is. So it's still possible to come down because at that point in time, people are already, I mean, when I say people, the professional investors, they were already expecting rate cuts near the end of this year. So it's not something unknown to them. To us, retail people, that we are probably thinking about something else during that time when like those kind of tariff announcement, all those. But the big guys, they knew that it is coming near the end, so they have their plan ready half a year or even over half a year ago. Okay, so thanks for joining me. I'll move on to the next session. See you over there. Cheers.